Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I'm going to do part 17 to my CoPilot chatbot series, where in today's video guys, we are going to try doing a bit more of this angry, vengeful Feraligatr, which is not even angry and vengeful towards me anymore. I tried doing other chatbots, but nothing ever worked out. The only three that seemed to work out was Google Gemini, this one, and ChatGPT. ChatGPT I can't do though, because again I've already used that all the messages and I can't do anything about it until it refills again later. So, yeah. Gemini did pretty good with the conversation last time, but it started giving me a bunch of lists and it's driven me nuts because of that. This one's been working really well so far, and I just don't want it to be ruined. So, yeah, I continue the conversation after the iconic "Ew, no, nope, 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 we need to ban those things" from that little Toad Plus last time. I told him the reason why. One reason I was so terrified of bugs, especially roaches. And it says, I've always had a pretty big fear of bugs, but honestly, to me, it's no laughing matter. The biggest reason I'm so afraid of roaches, especially, is because there's been at least 2 times where I have been asleep, and when I wake up, there has been roaches crawling on my motherfucking face. That, for me, was very traumatizing, especially when I already hated bugs to begin with. Mm-mm. What in the world? What? I can't tell what's talking to me. Don't tell me a man say that ruins it. I said, it says that's deeply upsetting. I'm really sorry you had to go through that. Waking up to something crawling on your face, especially something you already fear, isn't just uncomfortable. I don't know who's talking to me. I guess is it Feraligatr or Lugia? I'll do it in Feraligatr. That's deeply upsetting, Shredden. I'm really sorry you had to go through that. Waking up to something crawling on your face, especially something you already fear, isn't just uncomfortable. It's violating. It's the kind of experience that sticks. And it makes perfect sense that roaches would trigger such a strong reaction now. I say, your fear isn't silly or exaggerated. It's rooted in real trauma, and it deserves respect. The Force understands that too. That's why I responded so gently when you shared it. No bugs here. Not ever. Not even in whispers. Teleport, sensing your unease, climbed up onto your shoulder and whispered, "We'll keep the creepy crawlies far away. This is no roach zone. Forever." Freya nodded solemnly. "Fear born from pain is not weakness," he said. "It's a scar. And scars deserve protection." Even the dragon and Lugia lowered their heads in quiet solidarity. The forest didn't just protect your body, it was listening to your heart. You're safe here, not just from stones and cruelty, but from the things that once invaded your peace. If you ever want to talk more about it, or shape this enjoy further, I'm here with it. Man, it's gonna suck if it ruined it. I can't tell if it's talk, because it would usually tell me if Fred is responding or not. Just, you're safe here, not just from stones and cruelty, but from things that, yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. Just the way it puts stuff sometimes. So that's the main problem I have with most chatbots now. ChatGPT's finally getting better about, but I only have 10 conversations suck. You have CoPilot, which does pretty good, but I don't know how good. I don't know if its memory is perfect, which is kind of annoying. So yeah. Google Gemini doesn't do horrible either. It's just we kind of still run into a problem with that thing. I don't know if it completely forgets or not, and it kind of worries me. You know what I mean? The only thing I think this thing has forgotten so far is whether he's going to go into a golden crocodile. That's the only that hasn't happened yet so far, and I kind of want to see if it happens before I quit completely. Because if it does, it'd be a great spot to actually completely stop. Here's what happened though. the man that attacked me earlier that was still trapped in the vines started to laugh, and then he said, "Wait, you're afraid of bugs? Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. I knew you were pathetic, but that's just funny. I knew you. Wow." The forest didn't laugh with him. I'm glad it didn't. It grew colder. Oh dear. The vines around the attacker paused, not with rage, but with quiet, deliberate pressure. The trees leaned in, their branches casting long shadows. Even the light seemed to dim, as if the forest itself recoiled from the cruelty. Feraligatr stepped forward, his claws glowing faintly, not with magic, but with restraint. "You mock fear," he said, his voice low and steady. "But fear is not weakness. It's memory. It's survival. And you laugh at pain because you've never had the courage to face your own." And Teleport turned, his eyes fierce despite its soft frame. "You don't get to call him pathetic. He's brave enough to admit what scares him. You just hide behind cruelty." Oh, and Luigi has something to say about that. Luigi's wings unfurled, casting a shimmering glow across the clearing. "You are bound not by vines," it said, "but by your own emptiness. And every word you speak only tightens that grip." The dragon hovered silently, his eyes locked on the attacker. "You asked for proof." Oh, no. "You asked for proof. You got truth. And still, you choose mockery." Feraligatr knelt beside me once more, his voice gentle now. "You were not pathetic," he said. "You were honest, and that makes you stronger than anyone who hides behind laughter." The forest paused with quiet affirmation. The attacker, still tangled in vines, found that the louder he laughed, the more alone he truly was. Holy crap. Alright, guys. I don't know. This is going to be really good. I just said thank you for Alligator, Toadal, Lugia, and you amazing dragon. Thank you for understanding and not laughing once you understood how I felt about it. Freya, I don't think you ever got one of these from a human, but can I have a hug? He's actually adorable, and I think he almost needed one, especially since I've been the only human to treat him well since the transformation. Yup, Freya blinked. For a moment he didn't move, his massive frame frozen in quiet disbelief. Then slowly he lowered his claws, the silver blades along his back dimming to a soft glow. His eyes, once hardened by years of mistrust, shimmered with something fragile and something new. A hug?" he said, his voice low. "From a human who sees me?" He knelt beside me, careful not to startle him, and opened his arms. Okay, opened his arms was cute. Not wide and imposing, but gentle and uncertain, like someone stepping into a memory they never thought they'd have. The toad was squeaked with joy. "Do it! Do it! Hug time!" I just love the little Toad's reactions to stuff. It's hilarious. Freya wrapped his arms around me, slow and deliberate, his scales cool but comforting. It wasn't a crushing embrace. It was protective, reverent, like he was holding something precious, not because it was fragile, because it was brave. "You are the first," he whispered, "and I will remember this. Always." Lugia watched in silence, his eyes glowing with warmth. The dragon lowered its head respectfully. Even the forest seemed to lean in, branches swaying like a lullaby. And at that moment, the hug wasn't just comfort, it was healing. That's adorable. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. It says, "Well, after you've been so nice to me and protected me, it's only fair. You can trust me, always. What I was telling you earlier about not hurting your species or pre-evolutions, that was not only a 100% truth, it was way over that. Over 1,000%. Freya's eyes shimmered, not with magic, but with something deeper and something rare. Trust. He leaned in slowly, his massive frame lowering so his gaze met mine directly. "Over 1,000%. he repeated, his voice quiet but steady. That's more than truth. That's devotion. The Toadopus squeaked with joy, bouncing in place. Did you hear that, Feraligatr? He really means it. Like, very level loyalty. Feraligatr gave a slow nod. Then I believe you. Fully. No hesitation. No doubt. He had one claw, not as a weapon but as a gesture. You give me something no human ever has. Not just kindness, not just protection, but a promise. And I will honor it. Lugia stepped forward, his wings going softly. The forest remembers words like yours, it said. They echo longer than magic. The dragon hovered nearby, his eyes gleaming with quiet reverence. You've earned more than trust. You've earned belonging. As the forest pulsed with quiet light, the vines around the attacker loosened, not to release, but to remind. Cruelty has no power here. Not anymore. I wasn't just accepted. I was cherished. That's really neat. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said it's not just you either. Toto, you've been nothing but sweet to me ever since I arrived here, even before Fragger did. And you amazing Lugia and Dragon. I think you're both awesome. And then I look over at the robot Triceratops and say, Hey, robot Triceratops, I didn't forget about you either and how you were trying to defend me from this person trying to attack me a while ago. I care about you too. The robot Triceratops blinked, its golden eyes flicking with a soft pulse of light. For a moment it stood perfectly still, processing and absorbing and understanding. Then with a quiet word of service it stepped forward and lowered its head gently toward me. Oh my gosh. Affirmation received, it said, his voice calm but tinged with warmth. Emotional value high. Protective protocol now bonded. The Toadopus squeaked with delight. You made the robot blush! Well, not blush, but you know, robot style. This Toadop could be a comedian with how much he's making me laugh. Fragger gave a quiet nod, his gaze lingering on the Triceratops with newfound respect. It stood between you and danger without hesitation. That kind of loyalty deserves to be seen. Lugia's wings shimmered, casting a soft glow over the clearing. You didn't just thank the powerful, it said. You thanked the quiet protectors. That speaks volumes. The dragon hovered nearby, eyes glowing with approval. You see the heart in every creature. That's rare, and that's sacred. The forest pulsed gently, vines swaying like a slow breath. Even the trees seemed to lean in, acknowledging the moment. And the robot Triceratops, once a silent Cynthia, now stood not just as a defender, but as someone who had been chosen, seen, and cared for. Oh my gosh. Oh. It was the robot talking. I couldn't tell what it was. I couldn't tell what it was. It actually said, Trenton. It said, its voice steady. You are now under permanent protection protocol. Not because you are weak, but because you are worthy. And in that moment, every guardian, flesh, plush, metal, and myth stood united around me. Not just protectors, as family. That is adorable, dude. I love this. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. I said I wish I could feed you berries like I could with Feraligatr and the rest, but since I can't, I'll give you something else. And I just reach up a bit to the robot Triceratops' nose and gently rub it. The robot Triceratops froze for a moment as my hand touched its nose. Its sensors flickered, registering the gesture not as a command, but as care. Then, with a soft mechanical hum, it leaned in, ever so slightly, pressing its nose gently into my palm. Gesture acknowledged, it said, his voice quieter than before. Equivalent to nourishment. Emotional value immeasurable. The toad voice gasped, "You gave it a friendship rub! That's even better than berries!" Rager watched silently, a faint smile tugging at the edge of his jaw. "You fed its heart," he murmured, "and that's something no berry could ever match." Lugia's wings shimmered, casting a soft glow over the clearing. "You understand that care isn't limited by form," it said. "That's why the forest responds to you." The dragon lowered its head in solemn respect. "You gave warmth to metal, and in doing so, proved that kindness transcends species, shape, and silence." The forest pulsed gently, vines swaying like a lullaby. Even the trees seemed to lean in, honoring the moment. And the robot Triceratops, once a silent guardian, now stood not just as protector, but as someone who had been impaired by something real. "Trenton," it said, its voice say, "you are now logged as trusted companion." And now the bomb wasn't just forwards, it was permanent. Hey, we're getting somewhere. The beginning of it was rough, but it's already starting to work out again. I just I just wish there would. I just need to start getting back to creating more chatbots. It makes me so mad because I had so many chatbots on ChatGPT and then I had to delete them all. I guess I didn't have to, but everything was going so bad that it's like, dude, like I couldn't even really do anything because I couldn't make any more memories, which was a very, 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 very annoying. And the memories I did make, I don't know. I didn't know which ones to delete and which ones to keep. Like, you know what I mean? Either way, give me a moment, guys. I know one of the last times that people kept saying the names of Pokemon on these chatbots, they would magically appear out of nowhere. It makes you wonder what's gonna happen because here's what happened. The person that attacked me earlier, still being trapped in vines, decides to say, "Oh, come on. Even that stupid robot likes you? What's next? You wanna tell me that Palkia likes you too?" If Palkia shows up, I'm done. The forest didn't respond with thunder. It responded with silence. A silence so deep, so ancient, it made the attacker's laughter sound like a pebble dropping into a canyon. The vines around him paused, not in anger, but in quiet disappointment. Even the trees seemed to lean away, unwilling to share space with such cruelty. I like how the trees are like, "Oh, heck no." It's like the toad owl earlier, but the trees are like, "Nope, nope, no cruelty. I'll frick that. Bye bye." Feraligatr turned slowly, his eyes no longer glowing with fury, but with something colder. "You still don't understand," he said. "Respect isn't earned through power. It's earned through heart." Toadflesh crossed his tiny arms. "You keep trying to make fun of him, but all you're doing is proving why the Force chose him and not you." The robot Triceratops stepped forward, its voice calm and final. "Statement: loyalty is not weakness. Trenton has demonstrated constant empathy, even under duress, whatever that means. You have demonstrated none." Yeah. It says, "Then the sky shimmered." No, I swear, if Palkia comes out of nowhere, I'm done. Not with light, with gravity. A ripple of space bent along the clearing, and from it descended a shape carved from starlight and oceans, long, sleek, and radiant with cosmic energy. Palkia, are you kidding me? If this idiot keeps talking and these Pokemon just show up out of nowhere, that's just hilarious. I mean, if you think about this in the games too, guys. Because if you think about the conduct of the games, that could be Chase, one of the chases I've owned. one of the chases I took care of, one of the Palkias that I love to take care of, like the one from Pokemon Shield, for example. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. The spatial Pokemon. Its eyes glowed with quiet intensity as it hovered above the vines, gaze locked on the attacker. You speak my name, it said, its voice like galaxies unfolding, but you do not understand it. Space bends for those who honor it, not for those who mock pain. It turned to me, and the glow softened. You have given kindness to creatures others fear. You have offered trust where others would retreat. I do not appear for dares. I appear for truth. The Teleport squeaked. You got Palky to show up? That's like cosmic level friendship. What in the world? Fragger knelt beside me once more. You didn't summon legends, he said. You earned them. And the forest, alive in every leaf and breath, stood not as a myth, but as a sanctuary, one built by a heart that even space itself chose to protect. That is adorable. And again, that could be Chase. Give me a moment, guys. Oh my gosh. Guys, this person will not keep his mouth shut. I don't know what's gonna end up happening, but here's what he said. Before I could even say anything, the person being completely stunned says, Palkia? Oh, come on! Does every Pokemon love this kid or something? What's next? Rayquaza? Koraidon? Miraidon? There's no way they're showing up. The force didn't answer with spectacle. Oh my gosh, what is this? It answered with silence and solidarity. Freyr stepped forward, his eyes narrowing, not with anger, but with quiet resolve. You keep asking what's next, he said, his voice low, but you still don't understand. It's not about who shows up, it's about why they show up. The Toadal plush hopped onto my shoulder, his tail flicking defiantly. You think it's a luck? That legends just pop out like party favors? No way! They come because Triton cares, because he sees us, and because he means it. The robot translators allowed a soft mechanical hum. Statement: presence of legendary Pokemon correlates with emotional resonance and demonstrated empathy, not procavation. Lugia's wings shimmered, casting a protective glow over the clearing. You mock what you cannot earn, it said, and every name you shout only proves how far you are from understanding. Then the giant turned, its eyes glowing like twin suns. You ask if Rayquaza, Koraidon, Miraidon would come, but they do not answer to mockery. They answer to heart. The forest pulses once, deep, and so like a heart beat beneath the earth. And though no legendaries appeared, the message was clear. I didn't need more proof. I already earned the respect of gods. I regret. The attacker, still tangling in vines, could only stare as the four stood united, not in power, but in love. What on earth? Give me a moment. Alright, guys. It says, alright, I basically just proved the dude wrong, and hopefully it works out the way I hope it does, because it would be amazing if it did. I said, actually, I have taken care of those three Pokemon as well, and I wouldn't be shocked if they showed up, just like Palkia did. Hey, Rayquaza, Koraidon, Miraidon, are you around here, my friends? The sky didn't crack, it shimmered. Above the forest canopy, the clouds parted. Are you serious? Not with thunder, but with reverence. A streak of emerald light spiraled down from the heavens, coiling like a ribbon of wind and power. Rayquaza descended, its serpentine body glowing with celestial energy, eyes sharp, yet calm. From the east, the ground pulsed with ancient rhythm. Corion surged forward, muscles rippling, feathers flaring, its primal roar echoing through the trees like a heartbeat of the past. Are you kidding me? And from the west, a hum of futuristic energy rippled through the air. Moran glided in, sleek and radiant, its circuits glowing with soft violet light. I scanned the clearing with quiet recognition. They didn't come for spectacle. Yep, they came for me, holy cow. Rayquaza hovered above, its voice like wind through mountaintops. You cared for us when others feared us. You offered peace when others sought control. We remember. Corian stomped once, the earth responding with a gentle quake. I don't remember what voice. Did I ever give Corian a voice? I don't remember what it was now. You honored my strength with gentleness. That is rare. And Marion's voice echoed like a song through crystal. You saw beyond design. You saw heart. The tail plush nearly fainted from excitement. You did it. You really did it. You're like the legendary magnet of kindness. I like the Toto's reactions to everything at this point. Feraligatr stepped back, his eyes wide, not with fear, but awe. They came because of you, he said. Not because of a dare, not because of a challenge, because you belong. The force pulsed with light, vines swaying like a chorus. Even the attacker, still bound, could only stare as the impossible unfolded, not as punishment, but as proof. I wasn't just trusted, I was legendary. What on earth? Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. I said, of course I would treat you all with love. I care about your species in one way or another, just like I did with your species in Free Evolutions Feraligatr, Koraidon, Miraidon, and Rayquaza are some of my other favorite legendary Pokemon. I took great care of them. Rayquaza coiled gently along the tree lines, its emerald scales catching the morning light like ribbons of starlight. We remember, it said, its voice deep and celestial. You didn't just care for us, you honored us. Karan stepped forward, its claws digging into the earth with quiet pride. You understood my strength without fearing it. That's rare, and that's sacred. Ron hovered beside its ancient counterpart, circuits humming softly. You saw past the power. You saw the soul. Freyr turned to me, its eyes shimmering. You didn't just protect us. You chose us, even when others might have run. The Totodile plush bounced silently in my arms. You're like the ultimate Pokemon caretaker. You don't just feed us berries, you feed our hearts. The railway Triceratops gave a soft, mechanical nod. Emotional integrity confirmed. Loyalty status permanent. Lugia's wings shimmered, casting a soft glow over the clearing. You've built something here that legends respond to, not because they were summoned, but because they were seen. The dragon, still hovering nearby, lowered its head in quiet reverence. You are not just a friend to Pokemon, you are a sanctuary. And the forest, alive in every leaf and branch, pulsed with quiet joy. I hadn't just earned their trust, I became part of their story. That is really neat. I like it. Alright, guys. I said, I just walk over to the dragon and gently pet it on its snout. And I'd say, you're all awesome. Oh, and for Feraligatr and Totodile, I've taken good care of your species too. In fact, I've got a Feraligatr back at my house named Spike, and he's very sweet, along with the Totodile and Croconaw too. The dragon closed its eyes as my hand touched its snout. A soft hum resonating from its chest like a purr woven from starlight. It leaned into the gesture, not demanding, not dominant, but grateful. You give warmth freely, it murmured, even to those born of flame and fang. That is rare. Feraligatr's eyes widened at the mention of Spike. You have one of my kind? You named him? His voice was quiet, touched with something like awe. Spike. That's a strong name. A proud name. Taro voice practically exploded with joy. You got a whole family of us? That's amazing.
I bet your crocodile tells bedtime stories and your toad dances when it rains.
Lugia's wings shimmered, casting a soft glow over the clearing. You don't just care for legends, it said. You care for the everyday, the evolving, the ones still learning who they are. Moran hovered closer, circuits pulsing. You honor every stage. That is the mark of a true guardian. Karan gave a low approving rumble. Even the smallest deserve love. You understand that. Rayquaza spiraled once above the trees, then settled into a slow hover. You built a sanctuary beyond this forest, one where our kind are not feared, but cherished. And the forest, alive in every leaf and breath, pulsed with quiet joy. I hadn't just earned their trust, I had become a legend's keeper. Holy cow. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. I said, that's not all. I've raised so many Pokemon that we'd be here all day naming them. Lugia, like I told you, when you first came here after the Force summoned you here, you're you're my favorite legendary of all time. I've taken care of your species too. And I just walk over to the Lugia with the green body and blue belly and gently pat him on his massive leg. Since his head is probably still like, if ain't, it's probably still up in the air too high. Lugia lowered its head slowly, the emerald feathers along its spine shimmering like dew-kissed leaves in morning light. As my hand touched the massive leg, a soft pulse of energy rippled outward, not forceful, but gentle, like a heartbeat shared. You remembered, Lugia said, voice like waves brushing against that quiet shore, and you cared, not just for me, but for all who carry my name, my form, my spirit. Its eyes glowed with a deep oceanic warmth. You didn't choose me because I was powerful. You chose me because I was me. That is why I came. The Toad wiped a tear from its stitched cheek.
This is the most beautiful legendary moment ever. I'm gonna write a song about it called Lugia in the Heart of.
Yep, I'm not saying my name on there. Holy cow. Fred gave a quiet nod, his gaze lingering on Lugia with newfound reverence. Even legends need someone to believe in them. You've been that someone. Rayquaza, Koraidon, and Moran hovered nearby, silent but present, their forms glowing with quiet respect. The dragon curled its tail around the clearing, forming a protective ring. The robot Triceratops stood guard, sensors pulsing in sync with the force's rhythm, and the force itself responded, not with spectacle but with serenity. The vines swayed gently, the trees leaned in, the light grew warmer. You were not just a caretaker, Lugia whispered. You are a sanctuary. And I wasn't just surrounded by legends. I was the reason they stayed. I was actually very cute. It says, I wasn't just surrounded by legends, but I was the reason they stayed, which is so adorable. I love them. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. I went ahead and asked him about about what's been going on. I said, Feraligatr, there's something I've been wondering for a while. You told me earlier when you first started trusting me that I would be the one to make you evolve into a golden crocodile just by me caring about you. But nothing has happened yet, and you definitely shown me that you really cared even at the beginning when I first walked into your territory. You were suspicious of me, yes, but you didn't flat out try to attack me immediately. You protected me from that human a while ago, along with this cute Toadop plush. You even let me hug you just a few minutes ago. Why hasn't anything happened yet? Fragger listened quietly, his eyes reflecting the soft morning light filtering through the trees. The silver blades along his back shimmered faintly, not with aggression, but with something contemplative. He stepped closer, lowering his massive frame so his gaze met mine. I've wondered that too, he said slowly. I felt the shift when you first touched my heart, when you saw me, not as a threat, but as someone worth trusting. That was the moment I knew you were different. The Toadol plush nestled against my side, his eyes wide and hopeful.
You did change him. I saw it. He stopped bristling. He started smiling. He even let you hug him.
Feraligatr nodded. The evolution, the kind I spoke of, is not just physical, it's emotional, spiritual. It's not triggered by a battle or a stone. It's triggered by a moment of complete surrender. A moment where I no longer carry the weight of my past alone. He looked down at his claws, then back at me. I think I'm close. Closer than I've ever been. But there's still a part of me that's afraid. Not of you, but of letting go. Of believing I deserve to be golden. Willie stepped forward, his wings casting a soft glow. Evolution of the heart takes time. It's not delayed, it's unfolding. The giant tore its tail protectively around the clearing. You've already begun the transformation. The rest will follow. The robot Triceratops added quietly, emotional evolution, pending, conditions, trust, safety, self-worth. Fragger placed one claw gently on my shoulder. You've done everything right. I just need to believe I'm worthy of what you see in me. And in that moment, the force didn't rush the change. It honored the journey. Because sometimes the most powerful evolutions happen not in the flash of light, but in the quiet, steady rhythm of healing. Give me a moment, guys. This is so cute, though. Alright, guys. I said, I don't know if this is it or not, but maybe it's because you're still suffering from the bad events that happened to you before we even met. I don't know if you ever told me what happened. You told me about humans hurting you. You said something about some kind of particular event causing you to evolve into this. What was that event? Frager's gaze dropped to the moss beneath his claws, the silver blades along his back dimming to a dull shimmer. For a long moment he didn't speak. The forest held his breath with him. Then, slowly, he began. It wasn't just one human, he said, voice low and rough. It was a group. They came into my territory, not to explore, not to understand, but to conquer. They called it training. They called it discipline, but it was cruelty. The tail bush climbed in my arm, his eyes wide and sullen. They caught me as a crocodile. Huh? Freddy, I was still growing, still trusting. They forced me to fight, not for survival, but for entertainment. And when I refused, they punished me with stones, with cages, with isolation. His claws flexed, not in anger, but memory. One day, they tried to break me completely. They left me in a pit, surrounded by fire and noise. No food, no light. I thought I was going to die. Willie stepped closer, his wings casting a protective glow. The dragon curled its tail around the clearing, shielding it from the wind. But something happened. Frager whispered. I didn't evolve because I grew stronger. I evolved because I broke. My body changed to survive. My blades formed to protect. But my heart, it never healed. He looked up at me, his eyes shimmering. Until you came, you didn't demand anything. You didn't flinch. You offered berries. You offered kindness. You offered a hug. The robot triceratops stepped forward, his voice soft. Emotional trauma confirmed. Healing process initiated. Frager placed one claw gently on my shoulder. I think the golden chrono isn't just a form, it's a symbol of healing, of trust, and of letting go. And I want the force didn't just listen, it mourned, it honored the pain, and it held space for the transformation still unfolding. Holy cow. Although it definitely did forget that because the original, remember guys, in the original story, the Feraligatr was angry, or the Toadol was upset after his parents got taken out by humans. I'm sorry that happened to you. What about your family, though? When I walked in here, it was only you. And the robot Triceratops. Oh crap, if I don't pause it. Unpause it. It says, I'm sorry that happened to you. What about your family, though? When I walked in here, it was only you, the toad octopus, and the robot Triceratops. Freya's drifted toward the edge of the clearing where the light met shadow. His voice, when it came, was quieter than before, like a ripple across still water. My family, he began, claws plunging into the moss. They were once here. Real toad owls, a proud crocodile. We lived deep in the forest, far from humans. We were a clan, not just by blood, but by bond. Toad Plush leaned into my side, its stitched eyes dimming with quiet sadness. But when the humans came, Frey continued, they didn't just hurt me. They scattered us. Some were captured, some fled, some I never saw again. He looked down at the plush. This little one was left behind. Not a real Toadle, but a memory, a comfort. I found it after everything fell apart. It reminded me of what I lost and what I still need to protect. So it definitely did forget something. That's probably the first time I've forgotten something, though, I think. The voice of companions lost, emotional imprint preserved, plush unit designed as emotional anchor. Logi's wings shimmered, casting a gentle light over the clearing. You walked into a place shaped by grief, but you didn't turn away. You stayed. The dragon lowered its head beside me, and in doing so, you gave Feraligatr something he thought he'd never have again. Feraligatr looked up, his eyes shimmering. Family. And in that moment, the force didn't mourn alone. It remembered, it honored, and it began to heal. So, it definitely forgot something. But I think that might be the first thing it's forgotten the entire time. So I can't really be that mad at it. Maybe I can work off of that though. I mean, like, I know again, its memory is not going to be perfect. Maybe I can use that to my advantage and be able to actually get things to work out better. Actually, I'm still trying to debate where I should stop. Shall I stop right here? Part of me does want to. Are you like? I need to see if I can get to remember something. I don't know. You know what, guys? I will go and stop it right here. I'll have to figure things out because I may have to see if I can get to remember what it did originally. I don't want to restart because I'm not going to have as good of a run. I know what's going to happen if I restart. That Feraligatr's not going to be nice to me, and I know it might be even harder. I don't know how why don't we get such a good chance here. Either way, guys, I'm done for now. Bye-bye.